The Breaking Bad American Dream is fast money, most are in jail. Chapter 1. The fast money mindset is everywhere. In my day everyone worked, now the hustle is in. Thank God for VH1's show My True Crime Story, which is a symbol for the modern crazy American dream. Then we got cryptocurrency. Somehow I found the YouTube channel CoffeeZilla. He talks about every scam he's ever found. They are our canaries in the coal mine. Society is going downhill in a big way if every punk kid out there thinks he's gonna get rich off cryptocurrency or some other get-rich scheme. I know exactly what is going to happen to cryptocurrency. The bigwigs at the Bank for International Settlements are going to tell their minions to shut it all down. Then they will introduce their form of digital currency that exists on your cell phone. People say they can't shut it down. The US military created the internet. They can shut Bitcoin down in a few hours if they want, but they're smart. They're watching and learning, biding their time. I read self-help books all the way back to Walter Wattles, 1910, and Dale Carnegie because it was a part of my job as a teacher, supposedly of wisdom. There are plenty of charlatans out there, including the granddaddy, L. Ron Hubbard, who created that totally ridiculous religion called Scientology, which started out as a self-help course called Dianetics. The honest people tell you one thing about success: hard work on a good, intelligent idea. That's it. There's no honest get-rich-quick scheme, so don't waste your time on anything that seems too good to be true, because it probably is. Success in life is using your natural-born talents to do something good with yourself that keeps you inspired and earns you enough cash to do what you want. This is really the secret, to do what you love and make money from it by either helping, inspiring, or amusing people in some way. If you could separate yourself from the standard version of the American dream long enough to search your soul to come up with something you love to do that can help people, and have the courage to follow it as your calling to earn your keep, you will live a better life than all the millions of people working dull jobs they don't really like just for the money. This by itself is the number one way to live a pretty good life. The worst hell is regrets over not having the guts to do what you really wanted to do with our life. The best way to get wealthy, barring winning it or inheriting it, is to create it by finding your God-given nature and doing something positive with it to help people. You could save your money and get to wealth over time, but chances are you're working a compromised job that's not the real you, which is why I believe there's a need in every area of life. Just find your particular niche, go with it, and learn enough about money to save intelligently as you go along. The key is inspired action. Sure, there will be times of plodding action and hard work, but whatever it is you do to earn your cash should be something that inspires you and gives you great joy for doing it. Everything that doesn't inspire you or make you happy must be eliminated, like all that psychobabble about past baggage, all negative thoughts, all frivolous hobbies that are meaningless, all negative people around you, friends and family alike, your bad habits like laziness, procrastination, addictions, living in excess in things like eating, shopping, watching TV, drinking booze, etc., spending your time doing nothing substantial, depending on others to take care of you, in a life of living in debt on credit. Life for people not living by their true natures ranges from about 0% to 60% satisfaction. The life you live might not be bad because you're floating along in comfortable complacency, but it's certainly not great because you're not following your true soul. Find your true talents and go for them. Think less about getting rich than doing as fine a job as you can to genuinely want to help people live better lives somehow. Have your product or service be at least a little different from others, better, or be the first pioneer in that area. Beyond that, make sure it's something people will pay for. Don't do a great job at something nobody really wants or needs if you want to earn good money. This is the mistake all the many artists, musicians, and fiction writers make. They don't realize that people don't need these things, and they already have plenty of competition in all the products from the past, not to mention all the other naive dreamers thinking they will be pop stars, movie stars, or something like that. A few will get lucky, but they still don't have control over their lives. They don't have a product or service that people really need. They're still dependent on some producer casting them, which is why they're all a bunch of insecure people, because they know anyone else could have gotten the role that made them a celebrity. It's not original inspired effort in a substantial venture, it's an element of luck, which is not a good way to be. So I say, get out of artsy-fartsy pursuits except as a hobby and tailor your talents to something substantial the world needs. Sell yourself by getting publicity out in the public eye, and help make others wealthy by using them to help you achieve success where your success means they will be successful too. In other words, get good workers to help make your dreams come true. Keep things simple. Never stop learning about your craft. Everything worth doing has some element of risk. Be ready to accept it. Refer to my business book if you want to take the entrepreneurial route. Life for enlightened people is about 90+% inspiration and 10% fatigue, discouragement, and enough stress to feel like your head is blowing up and you need to get away for a while. You have to find that balance where work, even inspired work, is boring you or driving you crazy, then move on to something else for a while. Most wealthy people say they tried over 15 different careers, jobs, or business ventures before they finally found the one that made them rich. Aside from a few techno and trend flukes, just about everyone rich loves what they do to earn money, and to get rich took at least 10 years. Adversity makes winners try harder, kinda like getting revenge by making it over and above all the losers who put you down and didn't believe in you when you were a struggling upstart at the beginning of your quest. You got to do a bit of free living, try different things, see the world, then either decide on your dream job or the kind of business you want to start and focus on it. Do your living first to experience the world before you decide on what you're cut out for and what you really want to do in life. Most people didn't start out at 20 pursuing their life's passions. They went along doing different things, developing themselves until they eventually stumbled onto their life paths. So don't feel bad if you're not aligned with the natural cosmic forces of the universe yet, just as long as you feel you're going in a positive direction somehow. Books about sales and home businesses are at number 658 at the library. Get both my money-making and business books to learn more about it. Make your own power so you're never on the street. There was a guy by the name of Slade on a supposed reality TV show called The Real Housewives of Orange County, who started in the first season as an arrogant, rich divorced guy in the mortgage business with his trophy girlfriend. The last time I saw the show, in the 4th or 5th season, he was living off his new girlfriend, one of divorced housewives on the show, unemployed, painting pictures, with nothing to show for all the wealth he once had. In the first season, he was driving a Hummer and paying for his girlfriend's BMW. In the later season, I don't think he even owned a car. Why does some pop star with a big hit like MC Hammer and some heavyweight boxing champ declare bankruptcy? I think it's because of the material excess culture we see on TV every day, with credit companies and banks trying to get us hooked on credit so that they make money on interest and late/overdraft fees. Beyond this, we have no control over what the so-called power brokers in our society do to manipulate economic conditions. Politicians, industry leaders, money guys on Wall Street, military big hots all have their own agendas geared to give themselves more money and power, and ordinary people like us are often caught in the crossfires. So always prepare yourself for a depression economy, because they happen all the time regardless of how big the boom and hype are now. It doesn't matter how great you are at work or how great your credit is when your whole industry goes way down. You lose your job, you're just another generic person without any idea of how to live independently of the system. Once you have no job and your house gets foreclosed on, you're a homeless bum. Who cares about credit when you need to eat right now to survive? Either start on self-sufficiency things like growing your own food, or learn new skills that can make you money no matter what, like plumbing, carpentry, computer repair, etc. People cause financial bubbles in order to make money. Then when the stock market, mortgage market, etc. collapse, they're laughing at all the plebeians they suckered in through the security gates of their big mansions. Get it through your head. Greed, which is evil, is alive and well everywhere. I remember staying with my grandfather at the age of 5 out in the country. He had a well. You got water using a bucket. He used an outhouse. We had electricity, TV, lights, etc. by then, but life was still basic in 1964. We had 2 channels on TV. There was not a big chance of getting massively brainwashed by consumerism because we didn't watch TV a lot. They didn't miss what they didn't have, not like today where we're bombarded with all kinds of consumer goods on TV all the time. All these ads and glittery TV shows create a demand among the weak people of our society, so they buy a bunch of this junk looking for some kind of internal satisfaction or some kind of good feeling while putting themselves into massive debt. I have very few material needs and no expensive indulgences. I spend a lot of time doing outdoor activities which cost almost nothing, like swimming and hiking, and I buy a bag of candy for a consumeristic thrill. I don't buy music CDs, video games, expensive clothes, skateboards, motorbikes, ATVs, etc. The old folks always lived below their means and saved their money. If they needed something like a car, most people except for the wealthy bought a used car and paid cash for it. What more can I possibly say? The pop group Queen's song "I Want It All, I Want It Now" was a commentary on greed, arrogance, materialism, and a lost society. If you want to protect yourself from the possibility of ever being homeless or unable to pay cash for a root canal, go to number 332 at the library and educate yourself about money. Always save your extra money. Don't buy frivolous things. Learn something about investing and invest money with a long-established investment company that sells stocks, bonds, mutual funds, or whatever you're into. Watch American Greed if it's still on TV and see that all those investors trusted these con artists who presented themselves as honest big shots looking to help the small guys so they could all make money, but none of them was attached to a big company like Vanguard, Fidelity, Charles Schwab, etc. If some guy is taking investment money for some scheme he claims he's got, you know the deal. Don't give anyone a penny unless it's a big investment company, preferably FDIC insured for money market accounts, but stock investments aren't covered. That's a risk you take. If you can't handle risk, stay out of stocks. Buy government savings bonds. I don't buy insurance, but all the so-called experts say buy it. I don't own much and have no dependents, so I don't need it. If I lose my material possessions, there is not much to replace. Keep saving your money, but do not put it all into one bank account. Drive across the border from the United States to Canada or Canada to the United States, or electronically open a bank account in the other country, then electronically deposit some of your savings there once or twice a year. Hide some cash and/or gold. All you need is a plastic bucket like an ice cream container, then bury it in your yard in a safe place at least 6 inches under with a rock over it so a dog doesn't inadvertently dig it up. You could bury it in your basement too. The point is to spread your money around to avoid losing it all in one shot, like the guy in the movie Blow, a true story, put all his money in a Panamanian bank account and the government just took it. Even with stocks or mutual funds, own at least 4 different ones. Personally, I believe it's a loose conspiracy for all the money investment shows on TV to constantly hype up the stock market. It always ends up crashing and they cry for a month, then start promoting good-looking stocks as though nothing happened, even though 75 million Americans lost 50% of the value of their stocks. They know that hype and the short memories of people will put them back in the money soon enough. What if society goes south and the economy breaks down? Can you grow some of your own food? Can you do a basic skill that people need no matter what? What do you really need? Do you need a big house when a much smaller one will do? Do you need 2 cars? Be successful. Work hard at something that earns money. Always plan for the future. Save money. Save food. Don't listen to other people about investing. Stay liquid. Don't invest in stuff that can lose money. I keep cash hidden in my place. I have a lot of straight money in my checking account and a straight 1-year guaranteed investment certificate, which is like a government savings bond. I earn 2% interest. The money is all mine. I can't lose it in a bad investment. I live modestly. I don't buy into all that crap about buying gold, Bitcoin, etc. It's all the modern day gold rush which will all go bust. The Rich Dad, Poor Dad course in a few words. Create assets like real estate, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, passive income that bring money to you regularly rather than working for it. Your house is a liability because it's sucking money out of you. It's a long way to pay off a mortgage. You could lose during that time. Financial freedom info. When you start earning a large income, don't spend like crazy. It will be a vicious cycle, working harder to support a lifestyle you don't need. Save money. Spend less than you earn. Carry no debt except for a mortgage. Buy an old car rather than a new one with monthly payments. Get a mortgage with a prepayment clause that allows you to pay over and above your monthly payment towards the balance, not the interest. Invest in real estate or stocks, mutual funds, etc. Get rid of useless things you don't really need like your boat, RV, motorcycle, second car, etc. If your house is bigger than you need, move into a smaller one. Don't make financial plans because life does not work according to a linear plan. Save money because there's a good chance you will have a major medical condition at some point in time. Everybody in the money industry says buy insurance. I don't buy much insurance. I live within 2 miles of a fire station. There is no chance my house will burn down. I don't buy home insurance. Hiring a tax expert will probably save more on taxes than what you pay this guy. I read a book about creating a budget and setting financial goals, which is a bunch of crap because you're not a robot who lives mechanically according to any plan. The whole book is about making plans which go up in smoke as soon as some unexpected situation hits, which is common. Compound interest is interest on the interest you make from savings that constantly build up. Develop some kind of part-time business. Buy my other books or go to number 650-659 at the library. Cut expenses everywhere you can. Moonlight in a part-time job like taxi driver, security guard, etc. Have a garage sale to get rid of your stuff that you never use. If you're too embarrassed to have it at your house, there are flea markets around where anyone can pay $20 to set up a vendor's table. Take courses in a service that is always in demand like accounting and tax returns, then either go to work for someone part-time or offer the service yourself. Between number 332.7 to number 332.9 at the library there are real estate books. You can buy a house and rent it out or resell it. Be wary of hype and get rich quick schemes. Beyond a certain point, the quest for money is not worth the stress.